Hi guys, welcome to my ccr3. My movie matched. It helped me grow so much as a editor as because when I'm filming the movie and compared to when I'm editing, as I start editing, I learn more and more about different softwares and what kind of softwares like are good at certain things. Like CapCut is good at just putting all of the videos together, and then you put it into Adobe Premiere Pro, and then you can really start color grading it, etc. So technological skills, yes. And also, I feel like compared to my midterm, my camera skills have been so much better. I've been learning different kind of camera movements and where to place a camera because that can really uh, depend on if the movie is good or not or if it's masterfully made. When making the movie, we started off with a storyboard. I'll put that up on the screen for you. So that really helped us not only detail the shots that we want, it also was kind of a checklist. So when we were filming, not to miss any shot. Also, planning wise, we looked at the thriller genre as a whole and we did multiple case studies on different movies, such as Happy Death Day and other thrillers that gave us a lot of not only motivation but inspiration on where to put the camera and music especially. Yeah, so funny enough, I had this idea already. I wanted to do a kind of comedic thriller because I recently watched Ready or Not, and I feel like my movie is so similar to that movie, kind of. But yeah, so I approached Sammy with the idea, and then it just grew. It was like lightning in a bottle. Uh, we first started off with the basic story components, and we laid it out how we wanted, and then we added in different little kind of like scenes that we wanted to include and different music because we love this song by Chris Isaac, and we wanted to include it in the movie, and we did, and it ended up being perfect. And yeah, I mean, the rest is kind of history. We planned a shooting day, and we shot at Chase Evanoff's house, and it went over really smooth. Compared to the midterm, it was kind of like, I feel like we had like 3 reshoot days on the midterm, and then we only had to reshot one certain clip from this one. It was so much smoother. I'm so glad that Mr. Z had us do a midterm because it really showed us how long, or time management wise, like how long we would need to edit and how long we would need to uh, film our movie. And then, post production's always the longest. It's just editing, it just takes a long time. And me and Sammy, we are just total perfectionists, and we won't be satisfied until it's near perfect. And I think we achieved that with this one. I looked back on my midterm, and I personally think it's so much better. It's like more polished. I also just think the pacing's a lot better too. Just for the 2 minutes we have, I just feel like we covered more story, and we elaborated on the characters a lot more. Yeah, so for like we started off using CapCut just to put all the videos together, and we noticed that on CapCut, like the settings aren't as advanced as we would like, especially for color grading. Like they didn't have just the I would just say the technical options were very limited on CapCut, and which made us convert to Adobe Premiere Pro, which is miles better, and it just helped. Adobe Premiere Pro really helped us a lot. The real technical problem that me and Sammy and I faced was definitely the 2 minute time limit. And I'm so thankful that that's the only problem. But it's just so hard to have decent pacing and not have the clips be way too short to cover all the subject matter that we wanted to fit into the movie. It was just really hard on on how much time we give to certain shots. So we really had to think about what different shots were more important than others. One of my favorite scenes was up in the up in Chase's attic or Sammy's attic, and where Nova was about to kill Damien, and we played around with this gel light that Mr. Z gave us, and we kind of faced it in different positions where Chase would have the red light on him and also Sammy would. It perfectly represented the amount of danger that Chase was in. It made the audience really feel like, oh wow, this girl really is psycho. But I loved that, and that was where I really played around with my camera settings. I used like this setting called like vignette or something, or I used a lot of shadows to really enhance the red lighting. So I learned a lot about the iPhone camera settings app, but it made me really happy that I got to learn all this cool stuff, because I might be able to use this in the future. It's like a lifelong lesson. I was pretty like well versed on all the different camera movements before. I just wanted to include all of them to show Cambridge that I knew what I was doing. In my midterm, I included a reverse dolly zoom, and then in the final, we kind of screwed it up because we didn't have a background, so you couldn't really see the reverse. So it kind of just looks like a zoom. But either way, I tried to include every camera angle possible. We used a lot of pans. We used a lot of tracking shots. Yeah, I just had a mental checklist, and while I was filming, I just made sure to include everything that I could. In the beginning, I didn't want to just have time on credits because I feel like that's really just wasted space because we only have 2 minutes long. So I wanted to do credits while the beginning scenes were playing, and that was really fun choosing a font that fits the narrative and kind of foreshadows the genre of the movie. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Location scouting was so incredibly easy because my co-director's boyfriend had this house on the beach, and it was perfect for Nova's chateau. We just wanted this really upper class rich vibe, and his house literally brought that. And it was also really fun getting to know the way of the house and kind of involving it a lot in the dynamic of the movie. With the openings kind of just being centered around in one house, it was really easy just to use like a couple props because it was really just house appliance like glasses, kitchen knives. So props was incredibly easy. The kitchen knife part was so fun. We had Sammy or Nova just hold a bunch of knives and just pick the biggest one out of the stack of kitchen knives. As you saw in my blog, the audition process was incredibly smooth, I would say. We had a couple people audition, and you saw some of the first half of their auditions, and right away as director, I knew who was good and was not. It's like kind of like a director thing that you have, where you have a vision and you can see it with that one particular person.